BMX, but not by.
Hashtag. No.
Yeah. No, I didn't try to copy or take anybody's style or anything like that. But yeah. So.
Right. Hey, it happens. If whatever. No, I'm kidding. So, like you being hurt and you breaking stuff, did that kind of hold you? Kind of be like, oh, I just hurt myself on this. I don't want to keep going because if this happens again, is that?
I mean, that's kind of what happened when I was pro. Like, I had that last injury in 2011, and I slammed into a lip, and I jacked my collarbone up, and I've broken both collarbones, so I have plates and anything. But I mean, it's not so much. I guess it was just kind of like me thinking after the wreck of like, kind of what am I doing? You know, like I am getting older. I don't have anything set. I'm thinking for the future, retirement. I need to start progressing. So I was like, you know what? While I'm hurt, I'm going to go back to school. And then as I did that, even when I got better, I was focused more on the school side, trying to land that job. So I worked for private companies, doing private stuff, reading water meters, stuff like that. Because I am in the water industry, and that's where I wanted to go. But I had to work from the ground up and really work at it. And then, like I said, after about 4 years of doing schooling and working at different jobs and stuff like that, I started getting content with one of the jobs I was at. I was like, okay, I'm kind of established. I kind of got where I want to be. Okay. I was like, but now I got some leftover time after work. I was like, I need to start doing something. And then when I got back with my wife, which girlfriend at the time, we've been dating on and off because she's a BMX racer as well.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's quick.
Yeah, so she raced professionally too, and she was very fast and a consistent main maker. And it was so weird because at the time we were kind of dating on and off, childish, since we were 12 years old. And,
for a minute.
Yeah, for a long time. Since we were 12 years old, dude. Like, we met at the track, and she used to beat me. We used to show up to training camps in Temecula. And anytime I saw her pull out, I'm like, oh no, Courtney's here. I was like, oh man,
she's gonna beat me.
Yeah, because she'd give me a run for my money, until I got a little older and hit puberty, and then
got swole.
Yeah, then the strength, the strength started hitting me. So and then I never looked back. I smoked her ever since. But no, so yeah, we I kind of lost track of where we're at, but yeah, so we met when we were younger, and then. On and off, but yeah, she was doing the same thing as we were pro. Later on, we weren't dating. Maybe we dated. I don't know. But we were probably off dating, and then she stopped racing for a while. Kind of the same time I stopped racing. This wasn't planned, and she went back to school. She was like a dental hygienist or something, and she was going to school for that. So she was working, and then we started seeing each other again. I lost a girlfriend at the time, and I don't think she was seeing anybody, and caught wind. I don't know how it happened. Facebook or something, messages happening,
hey,
and then it was like, hey, let's go hang out, and then it'd be like a date night. Hey, we haven't been to the track. Let's go to the track. Let's go to Whittier, Let's have a date night to the track. And then we started going to the track again. Then we started hitting it off again. Then we started riding again. And then we kind of got the motivation. And she's actually the one who got me on SE bikes originally. Back in 2000, at the end of 2014, it was kind of a Christmas present because she was talking with somebody and was like, yeah, we'll check out Jason. We'll check him out. And then Essie said, yeah, we'll give him a frame. We'll give him a jersey. He could start. So it started small, know. And by 2015, the beginning of the year, I started riding for SE bikes. And that was because of her, really. She's the one who put the feelers out there and was talking to people and said, hey, he needs a bike. And because we're running on older bikes. It's been 4 or 5 years since we've been to the track. So she's on an old bike. I'm an old bike. And it was like, hey, let's talk to SE. So that's how that started, and luckily as a family, as a BMX racing family, we argue about different things than other families do, because there might be a married man out there riding and his wife doesn't ride at all, and it's like she's pissed because he's not at home with the kids or whatever because he wants to ride and train, but our arguments are like, she still rides, I ride, the whole family rides, we're always at the track. It's like, hey, you got to ride longer than I got to ride. What the heck? Because we'd be swapping okay, so I'll be in the sidelines watching the kids or whatever, and then she'll be riding, and then we got to swap. So and then we only got maybe an hour of practice, 2 hours of practice. Okay. So it's like, hey, you get an hour, I get an hour, and it's like, hey, you went over your hour, you're into my time, and we would argue about those type of things.
Can't wait till we get home.
Yeah. So I'm honestly very fortunate that
really cool.
everybody likes to ride, so we're kind of on the same page, and there's no really arguments of like, hey, you're not home enough for the kids, or you're not home enough for that. It's kind of like we all ride, so we all make it work and make it happen.
Yeah. Wow. And yeah, I would say like that right there, I would say it's rare, because you have, like how you were saying, you have somebody who's doing something and somebody who's not into that sport, but still is there for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the same time, you just have to kind of sit back and be like, okay, you're here this time. Hopefully you can be home at this time, because I've seen things happen. They're like, oh, you're just butting head. You don't spend time with me.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Shit, you don't even like me, this kind of stuff. It's like, all right, but, so with that, you just kind of have to sit down and of course you want to sit there and speak with them, but actually kind of set stuff in place.
Yeah.
So it works out.
Right.
People are like, no, it's my way or the highway, this kind of stuff like that. I'm like, well, you need therapy.
No, but I mean, there are times where it's like you need your own time,
Yes.
and be away. And we have those days where, like, well, especially me being hurt now, like Courtney will go off to the track, maybe take Camden. He's 7 years old now,
awesome.
So she'll take him to the track, and I'll watch the little one, the 2-year-old we got, So
you having babies and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
That's so cool.
But yeah, that's when one's injured, then yeah, I'm not at the track. I could stay home, and there's other times where we're both healthy, and it's like, hey, you know what? Why don't you go to the track tonight and do your own thing? That way you can have a whole night to yourself. And those times help too. But for the most part, we do everything together, all of us. So.
It's cute.
Yeah, it's real cute.
That's awesome.
Real cute.
Oh my gosh.
So we're strangling each other because we see each other all the time.
Well,
when we're
yeah,
at the
you
track,
have 2 kids. That's why you
dude. I know.
Too much. No, okay.
I know. But no, we make it happen.
That's so cool. So now, like, you having like a spouse and family, like a family and kids, how do you kind of see that now as you ride? Like, how do you kind of see it as hey, either you should ride and get paid for that, or you should go get a job and do what you did, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see when the time comes later, when they get older. But luckily, right now, we don't make the kids do this sport, but they're kind of in the position of, hey, if you don't want to ride, then you can sit on the sidelines and watch mommy and daddy ride, if you don't want to ride. But luckily, everybody likes to ride. But I mean, Camden, we don't push Camden too much. He's the oldest one right now, and he's kind of making his footprint right now.
Okay.
He's still intermediate. He's not at the top echelon. He's not expert yet. He's 7 intermediate, so he's got one more step to be in that expert range, which is the top of the top in the country.
Nice.
But until he wants to really put in the work, which is crazy to think that 7-year-old, you got to start getting out there and start putting in work.
Yeah.
But it seems to be that way in every sport, whether it's baseball, soccer, motorcycles, anything.
Yeah.
Everybody starts at such a younger age, and now they're even working harder at that young age.
Yeah.
So much is out there with internet. You can research workouts. You can research what these people are doing. You can see what they're doing on social media, because everybody is kind of, I don't know, people don't really hide stuff as much anymore.
Okay.
So you see these kids training because they're representing their sponsors, showing off what they're doing. But other people looking in can see, oh, this guy's doing this. We need to start doing this too. But so the progression of everybody in the competition level is so high in every sport that you got to be putting in work. But we don't push that on Camden too much. So that's why he's maybe not at the top level yet. But we keep it fun, but he has fun and he is fast. He does very well. But if he did decide like, hey, I want to win all the time, and he's out there putting in the work, he's going to do very well. But until then, his mindset's not, he's more about having fun. And also he likes riding dirt bikes. My dad's been pushing him going to the motorcycle track.
That's what's up.
So got him a motorcycle. So obviously it's more of this and it's less work. It's still
up to a point.
Well, no, you're right. You're right.
It's
I don't want to say it's not hard, But it's more fun for him right now being on a motor than it is for his bicycle. But I mean, when we go to the Menifee pump track that they just built, he has a blast on the jumps. That little tabletop section, you know, he's learning how to jump, and it's creating a lot more fun in him with that. And I don't want to, I don't want to make it more than that right now. I don't want to be serious. I don't want to be that dad, that factory dad that's like, no, you need to do this, you need to do that. I'm just kind of more fun. But there's fine line. We're going to nationals too, and I don't really want to pay your entry fees to see you out there sitting down or not giving it your best effort. All I ask is give me your best effort. If I'm going to fork out the money for you to race or whatever, give me your best effort. And as long as I see that, we're cool, you know? Until I see them sitting down, not having fun, then it's like, hey, if you're going to do that, I'm not paying your race. You're going to sit down. You're going to watch us race. And until you want it, then I'll start, you know, I'll give you everything you need, the parts, the necessities. I'm going to tell you what to do. He doesn't like to listen to dad.
Of course.
Sometimes there's other kids at the track that he likes to listen to, or there might be somebody else that can coach him. But when it comes to dad, he doesn't like to really listen to dad too much. So.
Oh, yeah, who does?
Yeah, I know.
Like that. Yeah, of course, like at home, clean your room, you're gross. And then like you're out and about. He told me to just clean my room. I don't want to listen, but it's for something, you know, you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So sometimes somebody else, and I train a lot of kids all the time too, and I get that all the time. That's always like he don't want to listen to me. I'm dad, you know, and that's so true. And even me, when I'm thinking about it, I remember my dad. If he told me something, I knew he was right, you know, but I didn't want to tell him that, and I would just like always deny. But I'm like deep down, I was like, I know he's right. So if he told me to do sprints or something, I'd be like, no, I'm not going to do that. And until he wasn't looking, I'd be out there secretly going to do my sprints. So it was like, Dad, you're right, but I didn't want him to know he was right, you know, because he's dad, I guess. I don't know. So I can kind of relate. Yeah.
So how do you kind of see that, or would help out? I guess other people that aren't into the sport yet be like, hey, I want to jump into it, but you don't have all the options.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm still learning because that's the thing is when I didn't have the options, I didn't have these bicycles. I had to work to get. I remember the first time the sponsor's like, here's a free bicycle. I thought that was the coolest thing. I went to school on that new bicycle, locked it up, and I was telling everybody, oh yeah, that new bike, they gave it to me. And people were like, no way. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. But with my kids now, I mean, my kid right now, Camden, I can 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got like 4 bikes, and I don't think he understands that. He's just like, whatever, it's a bike. And I think that might hurt a little bit. Because he's he doesn't, it's just given to him. It's not like, and I can get the product for him or whatever. It's not like he has to earn it yet, because luckily for what I do, we're in a good position where I can get some of this stuff because of all the work I've done in this sport. And where I'm at in this sport, I'm able to provide him with some things and get a lot of help with BMX because of where my name. I'm able to help him out, and I don't think he really he doesn't understand he's got all these bikes. I mean, when I was his age, I'd be lucky if I probably had 1 bike, you know, and I don't think he really, it's a little taken for granted, but he was just kind of born into this, you know what I'm saying? So I'm still learning, and I don't know what if that's going to hurt him in the long run, or if it's, or maybe it's going to motivate him to see all this, and he's going to want to keep up with that reputation, or he sees this and he's like, I want this. I want to do what you do because I want all this, you know. I don't know if he looks at it like that yet, or I mean, only time will tell. I don't know.
Yeah. So. Well, so like. Yeah, I just want to get your mindset on that, because there's a lot of people who have done a lot. They're older now, and you know they have they get married and have kids, or not married, whatever. They have kids, and they're like, okay, here you go, and like you got some people who are like, okay, cool, I have 600 bikes.
Yeah.
Oh, I want that one today. Cool, and then. You have some who see it as like, wow, dad or mom, whoever, hey, you're awesome, thank you. So, you know, I'm I'm sure he's still super young. He doesn't kind of see it yet. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to get your opinion to maybe help some people out there.
Yeah, and it's tough to say, you know, every kid's different, but I mean, he definitely enjoys it. He's definitely grateful when he does get something, you know, for free, but I don't know if that's helping or hurting, you know. It depends. It really depends. I mean, I don't know. I can't see that yet, but it helps because I can get I can get him the best stuff. I can tell him what he needs to do. I mean, I can give him all the tools necessary, but it's up to him now. So there is a positive of me having all this stuff that I can give him all the, you know, I can talk to people. I can ask questions to the right people on, hey, what's your kid running or this, that, and give him the tools necessary, but it's all going to be up to him if he wants it. And at this point, he's not at the point where it's like he's super motivated and he's out here just grinding. Okay. He's not there yet.
Okay.
And he doesn't really, and there are kids at 7 years old, 8 years old who do want it, and they're out there doing everything they can.
Yeah.
But he's not there yet, and I'm wondering if it will click.
Yeah.
Or maybe it won't click. Maybe this isn't his sport, and I don't want to make him do this, and I don't. Like, if he wants to do soccer, we'll do soccer. And there's other activities he does do that I support. So until he's like, dude, I'm done. I don't want to do this, then cool. Like, you don't have to do this. We can make it fun. We can only do fun things. We can only go to pump tracks that are free and just ride your bike. Because he loves, if there's friends and camaraderie, like, it motivates him more. So when he shows up to the track and none of his friends are there, he's not gonna ride as hard. He's kind of bored. You can see it. But if his friends are there, or if he's at the jumps and they're all there, dude, he's out there forever. Go have fun.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he loves it.
So we're like, hey, let's go do that. Hey, like a trick. Hey, you can do this trick. Oh no, I seen this person doing this trick. And wow.
And then I know with this sport too that there's not a whole lot of money involved. Like, yeah, guys make a living at it, and there's very few Americans. Like, it seems like other countries, they get a little more funded from their country, more fundings. And
come on, U.S.
And
what's up?
Yeah, we're BMX racing is kind of a niche sport. Like, there's way more money in mountain bikes. And if you're doing tricks and you're at the top level, you're getting a lot more exposure and stuff like that. But BMX racing, you're not making much money. Like the current gold medal, well, not the current gold medalist now, but the former gold medalist for USA, Connor Fields, is probably the only real one I can think of that's making probably over six figures and having a, you know, making a good living. But as far as a good living goes, you're not. I mean, these guys, you're going to put in. These guys put in so much work to really come out with nothing. Like, there's no retirement from it. You're not really, your medical bills, who knows, you're losing money and stuff like that. So if you're going to put in the work and do this and with Camden and my kids and stuff like that, it's like, you better have fun. Like, you better enjoy it. But if I'm making you more, if I want you to do well more than you want to do well, then it's kind of like, what am I doing here? Like, you're not going to do well because you don't want it bad enough. Like, I want it more. So I mean, I always tell the kids I train, you're probably going to put in way more work into this sport than you're ever going to get out of it. So really enjoy it. So if you enjoy it, and I always tell people, you could be in a position that I'm in. Yeah, I don't make a living doing this sport. I have another job that I do, but this is a freaking awesome hobby to have stuff paid for or stuff given to me and products and stuff like that I love it and I enjoy it, and this is why I do it. Yeah, I still might even spend more money than I get out of it, and I definitely put in a lot more work. Yeah. And I'm never going to make a living at this sport, and a lot of people won't. So that's why it's like, hey, enjoy it. You know, have fun. You know, put in the work and enjoy the process.
So, like, yeah, with that, you not saying you're not making enough. Come on, SC, you got to pay him more.
No, they. Hey,
I'm kidding.
I know, but for a bicycle industry, what I do get is I'm very grateful because there's so much more companies out there who aren't doing what SC's doing. Like, SC's killing it on the big bike scene and the bike life, wheelies, stuff like that. You know, where they can fund the race team. He's so humble.
Look at him. Oh my gosh.
but racing, there's not much money in it for anybody. Like, in general, there's not many companies making a good amount of money. And SC's race scene or race bikes make probably the lowest amount of money for SC. The SE makes money off the bike life scene, the 29ers, the 26, 27 and a half, the wheelie bikes, the bike life scene. That's where the money comes from. But SE's heritage is racing. That's where they started. That's where that's where they came from. So to keep that around, that's awesome, and such a legit company to be around as long as they have, 45 plus years now.
Yeah,
that's
rare too.
That's rare now, So I'm very humbled to be a part of that history, and man, just a Menifee kid, who made a little something out of this racing scene is pretty cool. So I'm grateful.
Which is that's a big deal.
Yeah.
For sure, because you have a lot of people. Yeah, it's fun. It's a hobby. It's I would say it's not so much on your body as in if you're working out, as in if you run or whatever. If you run, cool, awesome. I don't run. Well, I will if I'm being chased. But I'll be going. But at the same time, if you're older. Or or not. It's a great sport to jump into because it won't hurt your body as much. Or if you crash,
I don't know about that, Jay. I'm not sure.
I was gonna snap neck.
I'm not sure.
Shit, that's so wild.
No.
Or of course, if you're doing extra stuff, doing flip whip bar spins and like to late, all this stuff, which is super cool, and from there, as you get better, you get sponsored by Monster, Red Bull, it goes up from there, which is awesome. Is there anything else you want to help out with the people out there to inspire them, or be like, hey, the SE bikes, jump on one because you're
No, I'm not going to make anybody do anything they don't want to do, but as long as you enjoy it and have fun, good things are going to come. You got to be motivated. You got to have some sort of motivation and want to do it. It seems like it's getting a little harder because I know these guys, like you see some of these top guys doing those triple backflips and stuff like that. They're not doing it how when we were younger, like we didn't have access to a foam pit.
Yeah, let's do a backflip, and then you got people.
And my family didn't have the money to send me to Woodward camps. Yeah. And that's where some of these kids just get super good. They're sent to these camps, or they build a skate park in their backyard, just like ridiculous amounts of money. So and I'm sure that's been going on for a long, long time. Where you always at an advantage when you have a lot of money, right? You can always buy training materials, buy the right parts, or send them to camps, or having trainers, nutritionists. All that stuff is gonna really help, and it makes it really harder for a middle class person like us or me in general, like growing up, dude. Like, I mean, I shared a room with my brother till I was 20 years old, dude. We were on bunk beds till we were 20 some years old.
So who had the top and who had the bottom?
Dude, yeah. Well, I had the bottom, all right, buddy. I'm the oldest. Back when you're a younger kid, it's like, I want the top bunk because it's cool. But as you get older, it's like, no, I get the bottom bunk.
And if the person on top's got problems and they pee bed, it's no, okay.
But I mean, so I never got to do those cool things and do that. But I've just always enjoyed it, hit jumps, and I was always at the trails and built my skill up, and I've always just been consistent because I've loved it, Just a typical bike ride to school to pick up my kid or to go get some ice cream is just, dude, a highlight of my day, dude. Like just cruising around, like I can just ride a bike in a circle, around a neighborhood and just have a good old joy time, Yeah. So this has been awesome, and then I mean just. I said it over and over again, but it's like if you stay consistent at anything you do, you're going to be good. I'm sure you're good at what you do at work, because you've done it so long. It's probably in the back, like you're just, you're that good, and it's anything. I mean, you do so long. What is it like you do things long enough? Like when you're training, what's that thing? So you train so hard, it becomes routine habit. Yeah. When things become, if you do it like for a couple weeks and then stop, you're not really helping. But if you stay consistent week in, week out, and it turns into months, turns into years, you're going to be really, really good. But that's the thing, is people want to see results now.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't, and nowadays it just doesn't happen. Like, it takes a lot of work. Like, you see somebody do something and you think like, oh, that's easy. They make it look easy. Like, they've been doing it so long that they make that look easy, but you got to put in the work to be that good, you know? So.
Yeah, like on a jump or a certain trick, doing like a flip whip to late bar, you don't know.
It looks like,
how
oh
many
yeah,
times
whatever, but
that person's went down.
Oh yeah.
On that flip, the bar, and it's turned and they go down. You just don't know how many times, but after they get it, they're just like,
oh yeah,
can do stuff in the flip whip bar or whatever. You're just like, bro, how?
Yeah.
It's at work.
I know.
Which
and
is
awesome. It's not like it's not a matter of if you're gonna get injured.
It's when.
It's when, because I mean, you're gonna get hurt, and I'm sure it's like that in everything. So you gotta, like, if you want it bad enough. Some people are just like, they get hurt, I'm done, peace, I'm done. This is it.
I would say like me, because I ate crap hard, and I wasn't super good like sponsorship style, and I was dumb, and I crashed.
But that goes with, if you would have kept at it. Could you imagine how good you'd be right now if you were on your bike just every day, just having fun? Like, that's the thing too, is like, people want to get sponsored, they want to get sponsored now. So but if you just stay consistent and you do you, and you have fun, things are gonna, you might get noticed, and people are gonna be like, dude, this guy's really, really good. Like, they always say, closed mouths don't get fed, right? You always got to open your mouth, and that is true. But if you're always working hard and you just keep progressing, good things are gonna come to you too.
Yeah.
But yeah, you had if you would have just kept with it, man, you would have been really, really good. Because I mean, we all were having fun. We all were decent.
Yeah,
we weren't.
I'd say pretty good.
We weren't thinking of like, oh, this is what I want to do for a living. We never hit it that hard. We didn't take the fun out of it. It was always fun. You know, it was like, hey, where are we riding next? Well, oh, let's wake up early. Let's go to Fontana, ride the skate park. You know, it was all fun. But
it was for free back then.
Yeah, it was. But geez, I can only imagine if you still enjoyed it as much as you did back then and kept at it. There might have been some injuries along the way, but
I do.
Which there was.
Just I would say I'm just not at that point now. I'm like, okay, after and when I have kids or whatever, I want to make sure they're set up. They are set up, and doesn't have to kind of be like, oh, I have to survive, kind of.
Dude, so exactly where I was at too. Like, I didn't have kids at the time, but I was thinking like, dude, if I want this, if I want a family, or if I want to be able to retire at comfortably, I need to start doing something. And I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to be in the water industry. That's just what I wanted to do. So I worked at it and just slowly went to it. And then when I started dating Courtney again, we were getting serious. We planned our kid. It wasn't on accident. We were like, okay, I'm financially stable. I have a good job now. I have benefits. I can support these kids. Let's have a kid. So we had a kid. So, I mean, not everybody's fortunate to have everything planned like that. But luckily, we were able to do that, and I was able to get my job and get my career path going where I can, let's have kids. It's time, you know. So,
that's awesome.
But now I'm at the point where it's like, oh shit, I just got hurt, broke my neck. I got to go to work. Like, so now it's a fine line, and luckily luckily they like me at my work, so they keep me in my stash.
It's your mustache.
Bro, I took like 2 years to grow this thing, man. It's been a long work, and it's not very thick. Can you even see it?
Probably.
You probably can't even see it. I do have a mustache. You probably can't even see it.
Fresh. You're like, no, it's fake. It's a no, okay.
Oh, and Dickcheeseburger for Dickcheeseburger, I'd always have the paste on mustaches.
Yes,
so you'd find me at Party City or whatever, grabbing 4 packs of mustaches because I'd be out on a ride, I'd be drinking, it'd fall off. I'm like, oh, slap another one on, you know. And then during COVID, I had a mask on all the time. I was like, I'm just gonna grow this sucker out because it's all twangy and everything.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, okay, so I got it. So now I dye it. I'm a total chick, you know. I have I have like a color like a brush.
You dye your mustache?
Well, I don't know what it is. It's like a mascara or something. I don't know, and I just like, and then it's darker so you can see it better. And then now I got a real one, so nobody's like, is that real? And now
you're like, here, hold on, let me pull on it.
It doesn't look as funny though with the paste on one, but other than that, yeah, I mean.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
So.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, you're awesome. Yeah, he's awesome.
Well, thank you.
If you, I would say, if you're not sure who he is, you should go online, Instagram.
You don't
Facebook.
have to do anything. I might waste your time. I don't know. But no, this
He's
is.
like, no, stop blowing me up.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
no, not even. No, this is cool, and I'm always trying to just continue and enjoy what I do, and hopefully I can get healed up and get back at it. But I've gotten a lot of those questions though since my neck. They're like, hey, so you're gonna give it up now? I mean, you got a family, you got a career, you're gonna give it up? And yeah, I mean, it's always in the back of my head, but this, I don't know, I love it so much. It's hard. I mean, yeah, I'm a little selfish in that point because I love it so much, and it's like I don't want to quit, but I do have responsibilities, so I always got to keep that in mind too. But keep an open mind, and this is all fun and games, but I still do have a family and a wife that I gotta
responsibilities.
Yeah, I gotta provide for. So
yeah,
it all. Yeah, it's a tough world out here.
Yay! But hey, it's all how you see it.
Yeah,
for sure. But at that, we are gonna end. Thank you so much,
Thank
Jason
you, Jay.
Morris, aka the Big Cat, aka Dickcheeseburger.
Yeah, I go by many names.
Stinger. So.
Yep. Dang, that's an old one too. That's a party name for you right there. Call me the Stinger.
Done.
Yep. So this has been cool, Jay. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, and hope everybody out there has a great day or night wherever you are. And over and out.
Yep. All right. Thank you.
And click.